Morning guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing a fairly basic service on the Rav4. We're going to do the plugs, we're going to change the engine oil, we're going to change the air filter and the pollen filter and the oil filter as well, obviously. So it should be very simple to do. Everything seems fairly easy to get at. So we're going to do this hopefully in the space of maybe an hour or so. In terms of the tools required, that's pretty much it. Spark plug spanner and extensions, 10mm to get the cover off the spark plugs, 14mm for the sump plug. So very basic selection of tools. And I'm going to fit in a Bosch oil filter, Bosch air filter, Crossland pollen filter, and a new pair of wiper blades as well, which are Denso and NGK plugs, as you've just seen. All of these came from Euro car parts, bought pre-lockdown, literally just got round. Good quality oil, and I'm also going to be doing a flush of the old oil as well. So hopefully get as much of the old oil out as is humanly possible. So before I do anything else, whilst the engine's cold, we're going to start with doing the spark plugs. I do things in a particular order. Whenever I service my own cars, plugs is first. You can obviously do things in whatever order you want. I always like to do them with the engine cold, as it's much easier to be handling hot parts of metal or pieces of metal when the engine is stone cold. So to start with, we've got to get these two 10mm nuts undone. So once those are off, we've got a standard set of coil packs. Oh, looks nice and dry over there, under there, which is nice. And again, these need a 10mm socket to undo. Okay, so the plugs are out. These are Denso plugs. They all look fairly healthy. I don't know how old they are. This car's been serviced by Toyota for all of its life up until I got it, so you would hope that they're within the usual servicing tolerances. But they don't look too bad. We're going to change them out anyway for some NGKs, which I prefer. And we've got a specific note on the rocker cover which says that you must only use iridium plugs and don't adjust the gap. So I'm guessing once they're done, they're done. You do have to take off the plug from the end coil pack as well, otherwise it won't come out. All the rest you can just leave connected. And I don't know if you can pick this up, but on here it does actually tell you how much to tighten up the plug by, in terms of how many of the actual turns once it starts to grip. Speaking as someone who's snapped a plug off once, this is quite valuable information to make sure that you don't over tighten it when you're putting them back in. So I don't know how old these plugs are that have been in the car, but I think the gap has closed up on the older plug very slightly compared to the standard gap on the new plug. So we'll see what sort of difference that makes to the drive once they're all in. Okay, so just before we put these back in, as you can see, just put a little bit of grease on the threads of these plugs, not too much. Now, I don't know whether you're supposed to do this or not. But again, I've had experiences with cars where the plug has been pretty much welded in place into the head, so I always do this as a matter of course. You can tell me if it's wrong if you want, but I've worked on plenty of cars and I've never had one stick myself that I've done myself. Okay, so my spark plug socket isn't the best in that the rubber insert into the plug, into the socket, tends to stick on the plug when you pull the socket out. So what I do, I don't bother with that anymore. I use one of these bendy things, which are brilliant. So you can pop the plug in, start it going, and you can wind it around a fair way when the threads are greased without getting it cross-threaded. That's it. And pop it out. And that's nicely started down there. I don't know if you can see that. So I'll do all 4 and then we'll put it back together. Okay, so all 4 plugs are in and they are all hand tight. That. So that's basically down, screwed in as far as the crush washer. So now we just need to finish them off, crush the washer to get them finally seated. Okay, so that's that all back together. I can't stress the importance of not putting those plugs in too tight. You just need to, you get a feel for when that crush washer compresses, you can feel that, and then it's only very, very slightly more that you need to tighten it up. You don't need to really tighten them up, because then they'll just get stuck and they'll be an absolute pig to undo for whoever is the next person. These are all back in. These are just securing nuts. They do not need to be too tight, just tight enough. Okay, so I'm going to leave the top off until that's going to be the last thing that I put back on, until after we've started the engine, just to make sure everything's okay. These are all on as they should be, and we should be good. Okay, so the next 2 things I'm going to do are underneath the car. So firstly, you should, I think, be able to see there the oil filter, and also just there the sump plug. Again, while the engine is stone cold, I'm going to make sure that these free off, because they're a lot easier to deal with on a stone cold engine if they're a bit stubborn than they are on a red hot engine, especially once you've warmed it up to get the oil out. So I'm just going to free them off first. I'm not going to undo them, just make sure that they actually move before I start the engine. Okay folks, top tip, before you take stuff apart, as you can see I've just taken the front off this front trim, because the oil filter is very, very tight and I couldn't get a grip on it with the under tray in place, so I was going to put a rubber glove on it and try and get a better grip on it. And I've just found I've got a cup filter which actually is a perfect fit, so I didn't need to do all that after all. Brilliant. Okay, so the cup wrench didn't grip. I went down the road to try and get one of those 3-legged ones that gets tighter as they go. I haven't got any. Thanks to COVID-19, the queue for Halfords was around the car park, so I've improvised and that's actually worked. So I'm just putting a bit of something that grips in between the cup and the filter, and the filter's now turning, so that's loosened off, so that's good. Okay, so both the oil filter is not loose but loosened, so it will come, and that will come off, and I've just checked the tightness of the sump plug, which is also I've cracked and then just nipped back up, so now I can get that off once the engine's hot. So let's just start her up and just see, make sure that she runs okay with the new plugs in, which she should do. Right. No problem at all. Right, I'm going to go and run around the block just to warm the oil up, and then when we come back we'll put the flush in and we'll drop the oil out. Okay, so been up the road and back. Everything is now obviously red hot because the engine's up to temperature. So now I'm going to put the flush in. It's tight. There we go. Hopefully without spilling it all over the place. And it's just starting to rain mint. There we go. Now this does make your engine oil a little bit like water, so you cannot drive with this in place. So I'm now going to put the oil cap back on. There we go. Pop the bonnet back down, start the engine, and go and have a cup of coffee and hope the rain stops. Okay, so now the oil is nice and hot. So you might have noticed I've turned the car around so that the front is higher than the back. That's because the sump drain plug is towards the back edge of the sump, so it will tilt the oil slightly towards the drain plug hole. So I'm going to drop the old oil out, hopefully without getting me hands burnt. Okay, so while the oil is just draining out from down the bottom, I'm going to change the air filter. I've never had this off before, so I don't know what state it will be in inside. I'm going to try and just unclip it and just to see if we can have a look without having to do too much of what's connected. Well, that was easy. There's even a date on it. WRD is WR Davis of Stafford. Although there appears to be a lot of dates on this, including one from 2014. Odd. Well, it's mucky anyway, so it's getting a new one. Yep, that's definitely worth doing. One of the things that frequently gets left on car services is the pollen filter, which to get at it you have to just unclip the glove box, which is easy enough. Let's just pop that out. Again, it's got WRD, so WR Davis, and a date on it from last year. Ooh, grim. Yep, time for that to go. Okay, so let's put the new one in and making sure the airflow is the same way on it. And that's it. And this little door goes back on. Job chopped. Glove box in, and away we go. Okay, so I don't get this, or rather I think I do get this. I'm not really very impressed. So I've got a date of 5th of May 14, and then another one of the 29th of April 17, and then 25th of April 18, and then the 16th of May 19. Now, I can't bring myself to believe that Toyota would write the date of each service on a new air filter. I think that's the 2014 air filter. So do we give Toyota the benefit of the doubt, or do we think that they just scribbled on each annual service that they had a look and thought, nah, that's alright, rather than actually changing it? Main dealers. Okay, so it was a genuine Toyota filter that's coming off, so I'm just going to give it a clean up, mating face and the thread that goes onto before we put the new filter in. So as with the spark plugs, just before the new Bosch filter goes on, just put a slight smear of new fresh engine oil on the rubber seal and on the thread, so that it'll go on easy, and hopefully next time come off easy and only do hand tight. Okay, so underneath it's pretty much done. So the new oil filter is on nice and hand tight. I've been back underneath and checked the sump plug and popped that, tighten that back up again, not too much. Now to get the new oil in, there is a cover immediately underneath the filler cap or the filler neck, so I'm just going to use a funnel, so hopefully avoid getting the new oil all over the place. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it. Top tip: keep hold of containers, otherwise you'll be an idiot like me and end up having to scrabble around in the recycling bin for something to put your waste oil in. Obviously please dispose of your waste oil responsibly. I've just put the Rav4 on a nice flat surface, topped it up to maximum. I'm now just going to go and run it around the block and then check the oil one more time. Record on the invoice for all the bits the date that this has all been done and the mileage, and then we're done. Happy days. So okay, so we're topped up to max. Sounds nice and smooth. So I'm just going to go around the block. Just going to go around the block, make sure the new oil is circulating, just see whether it drives any different, and then we're done. So we're back, as you might expect, no problems. 100,724 miles. This service was a few weeks overdue, but I'll be honest with you, it drives exactly the same as before, and at least I know now that it's been done. So thanks for watching. If you like what you've seen, please like the video, subscribe, give me any comments that you want to give, good or bad, and I'll try and get back to you, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.